Yes, sir. Another episode. This one we got on a Full Profits podcast. Cold Cash. Peace, my guy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed, family. How you doing today, kid?
Man, life is good, man. Life is good. Another day above the ground. They say it's a good day. So I'm gonna have to ride with that one. So tell me where you from, my guy.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Midwest, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? I currently live in Buffalo, New York, on the East Coast. Uh, so upstate New York, not necessarily the city. You know what I mean? Probably about 8 to 10 hours away from New York City itself. But yeah. So
Okay.
Buffalo, New York, by way of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
What made you move to Buffalo?
Uh, Escaping trouble. You know what I'm saying? As a youngin, you know what I'm saying, had started trying to chase money a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and start getting into some things that, jumped off the porch, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, and due to mom dudes finding out what was going on, you know what I mean, to avoid almost the Fresh Prince of Bel Air story, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
avoid the trouble, she sent me where I had family, you know what I'm saying, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. Okay. So we all experience those type of norms, right? And growing up in the urban community, growing up in the black community, I ain't gonna say urban, growing up in the black community, it seems to be like this point where some of us do mix into this area where there's so much strife and there's drugs and there's opportunity, but it's usually the wrong opportunities. So moving to Buffalo kind of pushed you away from that. Were you doing music before you left Milwaukee?
I was doing music, but at a real low level, you know what I'm saying. It was more of a hobby at that point. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it wasn't something that I was really taking serious and focusing on. It was just something that I had started off doing younger than what I was as a teen. You know what I'm saying? And then as I got a little bit older, I started bumping into people who had studios. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the natural route of going to the basement studios and recording with different people, different producers, and just trying different stuff. Just happy to hear yourself on wax for real, just to hear yourself. And that's basically where I was at, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the music.
Okay. Who were some of the MCs or rappers that you looked up to coming up?
Coming up, like I say, being in the Midwest, I had a combination of a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, when it came to music. I used to travel back and forth to Buffalo a lot. So I,
Mm-hmm.
I did come over here. So I had a lot of influence from, the Fabs, the Biggies, the Kisses, the Locks, all of the the legends on the East Coast. And I would take that back to Milwaukee. While I was in Milwaukee, we was listening to a lot of the early Cash Money. Uh, BG, when BG was the main focal point. And we was listening to a lot of UGK, 8 Ball MJG.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was heavy. That was heavy in the Midwest.
yeah, Twister, of course, being from the Shy, Chicago being 40 minutes away, or maybe a little less, depending on where you at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Saint Lunatics, you know what I'm saying? Midwest. A lot of just a lot of Midwest influence mixed in with, mixed in with a little bit of the Nas's and the Firms and that type of thing from the East Coast too.
Definitely, definitely. So you already had some some relationship with the Buffalo area then coming up.
Yeah, like I say, my mother whole side, she the oldest of 9 kids, you know what I'm saying? And all of them lived in Buffalo. My father, they met here. So, of course he had a couple brothers and sisters, nephews and things that was here too. So when I was about 3, 4, I had my first airplane ride, you know what I mean, coming over here to the east and coming to Buffalo. So ever since then I always came back and forth, you know what I mean? But as far as living wise, it was once I got older and started getting into the little trouble.
What's it like there? Because for some people in the last 5 to 7 years, they just started hearing about the brothers from Buffalo. G was it the Griselda clique? You got West Side Gun, Conway, and Benny the Butcher. But were you aware of that when you were doing your travels back and forth from Milwaukee to Buffalo?
Uh, I really became aware of Benny, uh, Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, and them boys way before them was even their names. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? They like family to me. That's definitely family. The streets that they talk about, Montana, May Street, all of that's right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? That's
Okay.
5 minutes walking distance for me.
Okay.
Um, the I can honestly say it took a while for the world to catch on. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And even now I think that they catching on because of a void that the game was missing. Not so much that they was gonna come here and discover nothing. Because once again, like them boys always will tell you, it's not a city where people come.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
it's it's like I say, it's 10 hours away from the city, but it's an hour and a half away from Toronto, Canada. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we in the upstate, we in a funny situation when it comes to music and having an outlet. You know what I mean? We don't have that one person where you get a music to and it carry off to the rest of the world. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's not that main strip in New York, like where you can walk down the street and end up in a business build in a building where the record label is and shit like that.
Even our radio stations, you know what I'm saying? Our radio stations really don't have no opportunity for artists coming out of the town that
Mm,
catch that buzz. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, we got about 200 to 300 artists in the town. Fire, a lot of them fire, really deserve a shot. But then when you look at the demographics and where we at, you know what I mean, is very far fetched that very few of them gonna get a shot. You know what I mean? That's just the harsh reality of it. So when you talk about Conway, Benny, the whole Griselda, BSF, you're talking a lot of hard work. You know what I mean?
yeah,
A lot of travel, uh, piling up in the vans early. You know what I mean? Putting your own bread, your feet to the pavement. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Go and do venues where you might only have 25 people in the beginning. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Because I remember, and this is just for me. 5 years ago, I was already aware of them.
Right, right.
That's when they started to catch, and I was like, dude, I've known about them for 9 years. Like they've been doing that for a long time. It's just like now they're starting to get their just due because of the push that they like. They've been constantly trying to churn out music and push that shit. So
Yeah,
talk to me about that because you said the way it's set up, where you guys are, the location. It's 10 hours away from Toronto, but or it's an hour away from Toronto, but it's 10 hours away from like the main parts of like Manhattan and shit like that, right? So the radio, besides the radio, do you guys have like places for like open mics or places where guys can go perform, the women can go perform?
man. Quiet as kept. We've been doing that for decades, man.
Okay.
If you hear, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You know the scenes as far as the local talent shows, and I don't even call them. I hate to put that stigma, that that title on a lot of these things, because they deserve more. The actual events they self had great turnouts. The artists come out. I think the division more so is between the artist and the consumer. We in a day and age where the consumer really want to support what already look like it's moving. And
Mm-hmm.
once again, with Griselda situation, once they stood next to somebody with the cosigns, you started to see everybody jump on a bandwagon.
Yeah.
But like you say, you knew about them 7, 8 years ago. The talent didn't change. You dig what I'm saying? It's just more so, the light that was shared changed. With our open mic scene, man, we got a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people I could shout out. Y'all probably wouldn't know them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I
Yeah.
definitely show love to all of the people who definitely putting their feet to the concrete when it comes to putting these local artists on, these independent artists on, man. Anybody that's really striving, we got a lot of that. You ever come to Buffalo, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely places I could take you where it's people performing twice a week, 3 times a week, a lot of different artists, man.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Like, do you guys have places to perform? Because in Chicago we have it, but the thing is, you had to travel up north, and for us, up north was basically where. And this is not to throw shade at any culture or any group of people, but that's where the white folks was,
Right, right, right.
right? So if we, it was always like this kind of like static in a city because you had to go up there, but you had to prove yourself. You had to prove yourself to everybody that you could go up there and do this shit. So either you was coming up there to show that you could represent the West Side, the South Side, or the East Side of Chicago, or you wasn't. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So you had to go up there because that's where you could go and safely not only just do music, but you could get seen, you could represent because that's where all the talent was going. You know what I mean? So I understand where you're coming from because on the south side and the west side, there wasn't a lot of places where you could go to do that type of shit. And in the events that would be out there, they wasn't always like rocking out the best. Like they weren't put together well all the time. I
Yeah.
guess I could say it that way. They wasn't always put together.
think a lot of times too, what a lot of those type of events don't realize is that sometimes you almost got to reach out to your more talented artists that's in your city
Mm-hmm.
instead of just because a lot of those situations just allow people to come in. If you're an artist, you gotta sometimes they might charge you $10 to perform just to touch the stage. Sometimes it might be free, long as you get on the sign-on list or whatever, however it may go. But I think a lot of times those type of situations can almost it can have a negative effect on the artist sometimes because you start to get noticed, that you start to get looked at almost as the talent show artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that if in a lot of cities, if the promoters was to book the more talented artists, you know what I'm saying, who really, really got a shot, if you're gonna do that, keep it to people who really, really take their craft serious, make it some
Yeah.
kind of criteria, so that way, make a person have to bring 5 fans out, 5 people out to support. That way, you got a building at least with, if each artist got 5 people in there, you at least got 50 to 100 people in the building. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That might not be in tune with somebody else, and everybody can gain something from the actual situation.
And it's also important as an artist to network with the people in the building, to with the crowd after the event is over, with the crowd and with the other artists. I know here in Chicago, this is just me speaking from growing up here in Chicago and having to go through the music scene. There are a lot of guys that don't really want to fuck with nobody, but it's just based on the way they grew up. They grew up in an environment where motherfuckers is always warring. You know what I mean? They used to shit going wrong. So
Yeah,
certain guys don't like to network, but it's important to network because you help build your brand. You may be able to help cross brand with somebody else or cross market. There's a lot of stuff that can take place. So networking is another key to doing all that shit, man.
I think what you said is real important, man. But the saddest part about our people and our culture is that when it come to networking, like you say, it get kind of hard and get kind of difficult when you start to add the street politics that involve a lot of our people, especially our rap community. You know what I'm saying? We even see that with the loss of the rappers that we losing. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? And a lot of people like to say, hold on 1 second, let me hit this button.
all right. So you were saying the politics of it, right?
Yeah, I was saying that yeah, we was talking networking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate thing about networking is, like in our hoods, a lot of that stuff is so divided, you know what I'm saying? And it's divided by gangs in some cases.
Absolutely.
Uh I remember it was a point where my uncles used to come from New York and come to Milwaukee with their hat like this.
That's a no-no.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a no-no.
So it's little things like that within our community and our culture that separate us.
And
So
that's only cool if that's the area that you in. If your hat is tilted to the right like that, you better make sure that you.
a lot of people don't know about that era and how that trickled over into the business side. A lot of the gang banging and a lot of the claiming a block, claiming a hood. Like here in Buffalo, it's so many talented artists, but a lot of us can't work together because somebody might be from uptown, somebody might be from downtown, somebody might be from the west. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like it's sad to say, and I don't know if this go on in other nationalities or other races because I'm not those. But then within ours, I know, within a certain age demographic, a certain hood demographic, if your
Yes.
neighborhood is red in the red line and communities and all of that, man, it get kind of crafty, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to networking. A lot of the best places to go, we can't go. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Let me
So
say this to all anybody that's listening, to all the brothers and sisters, young women, young men, older women, older men. We got to get out of this tribal mentality where a person from another block or they're wearing another color is different from us. We are all under the same fucking banner. The reds, the blues, none of that shit really fucking matters. The only thing that matters is us being black and the green dollars that we can make with each other. We gotta get past this shit that looking at each other because someone is from a normal avenue and another person's from Clyde Boulevard means something. It don't. None of that shit matters to the bottom line. The bottom line is making money. How can we help each other feed our families and our kids and change the way our culture and our environments look and the way we move? we are letting other people control our narrative by not controlling it ourselves. That was one of the reasons why I did the podcast, because I can allow you to speak so you can say what needs to be said about the neighborhood. Yeah, we got some good, some bad, and some ugly, but there's too many people that get to give us these depictions on television and movies and say what we are, and all of us don't. I don't like a lot of the shit that I see. I don't like a lot of the shit that I see. When I ask young men who watch Boys in the Hood about Trey getting out the car, the shit I hear that, oh, Trey was a pussy. I'm like, was he? Was he? Because his main homie recognized that he wasn't with the shit. So he told him, yo, let him out. You know what I mean? And it's these things that like that are going on that, man, we really need to break away from. We need to break these fucking curses and in these old ass habits of thinking that Johnny being from the west side or the east side of Buffalo means more than him being able to get out here and make money with me, and we help each other out on the west side and the east side to make shit better for us all.
Yeah. It's sad to say, man, because when you look at it and you say, okay, the average black person with 1,000 Facebook friends, right? You take that 1,000 people, man, y'all put some money in a pot. Y'all got enough to start a business, something that all y'all can have equity in and start. But we so divided, everything funny now. Like it's all about styling on people, and no new friends and all of that kind of.
Everything that blocks you, everything that's blocking you.
And then the bad part about it is a lot of times we say our people, can't come together. But then I look at it like, and the sad part to say, I'm one of the honest ones. It's a lot of turncoat people within our color. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say that.
That's a fact.
So within that, a lot of the influences and the things that we gonna look for, our people gonna look towards as influence, is also driving us wrong too. So it ain't necessarily just our people against our people, you know what I mean? And from a lower level, it's our people versus our people from a higher level, that all in the trickle all the way down. You know what I mean? It's like a pyramid effect when it comes to, what our people who really don't have is trying to aspire to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's detrimental because you got a lot of millionaires and people that's pushing close to a billy, but because of what the business motto is and what the business side say, it kind of override the morals, principles, values of our people. So that's where it gets sticky at when we get to talking money and the business side, and in terms of our people networking and linking up. It's so much bigger than just changing your mentality, because there's so many other variables that go.
It is, but that's part of it. Like you
it's
can't.
Definitely a part.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get nowhere if you ain't thinking. If you ain't thinking correctly, you definitely ain't gonna get nowhere. I know I wouldn't have got this far in life if I didn't change my thinking. My thinking was a very first part of it. Learning that I need to get away from certain people. Learning that I need to change how I respond to things that I think are negative. Realizing that everything doesn't take an aggressive action. You know what I mean? Because if you go knock somebody out at every turn, you're never going to get nowhere like that. People are always going to say, hey, you can't deal with him because he's hard-headed.
And the bad part about it is, and like we say when we say that, see, we men that stand on things, you know what I'm saying? In this day and age, it's sad to say, how you just said, if you go punch somebody or you whatever, you mess up. In this day and age, nowadays, it's like it's the almost kind of flip. The person go punch somebody just to be on camera.
Yeah.
The person go to jail, get caught doing whatever he doing just to be the big drug dealer. But then, like I say, I think a lot of it is life starting to imitate art more so. People putting these things on camera on a visual scale, the internet on all day. You got every female, instead of taking a picture with her face to the camera, it's her ass to the camera now. It's just so, it's so many different things. The dopamine that come along with a like or a love on a post.
Yeah.
And when you get to adding all of these things, man, and it create a snowball effect that
it does. It does. And the thing about that is I don't think people realize the dopamine that gets released, right? The dopamine, the serotonin and all that goes in the face. Oh, people like my post. People like the way I show my ass. I don't think people understand it. And part of that comes from the lack of love for yourself or someone, the people around you that never told you things like that. But at some point, you got to be responsible for your own self and know that you know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
So talk to me, man. What explain your style as far as music? Like what is it a culmination of?
My style is a combination. Of course, you can hear my vocal tone. I'm not the loudest person in the
No.
room by far. I'm from a place where we really don't talk much unless we really got something to say. It's a lot of pimping in Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of slick with my words to a certain extent. Not by choice, but just by natural habitat and being around different environment.
Facts.
Um, my rap style though, I got bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually, it take me a long time to write a song. I'm not getting in no studio and just putting anything down. If I talk about it, it's gonna have substance. I really don't glorify the shooting and all of that, but I definitely, talk about it in the songs to a certain degree because I try to paint a picture. My name Cold Cash, of course, I want to give you both sides. I want to give you the cold side of living this life as well as, once you elevate and you get some money. So I try to give you both sides. If I'm gonna talk about something, it's definitely not gonna be in a way to make the thing sound cool and none of that. If I'm talking about shooting, I'm gonna give you a harsh reality of it. I'm gonna talk about the teddy bears on the pole and the blood on the ground. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about me spinning the block. You know what I'm saying? So, if that's what you like, that's what you're gonna get from me. You know what I mean? I can make any kind of song, but of course, like I say, I actually care about my people, so a lot of times I don't like to force feed them a lot of garbage. You know what I mean? I like to give them substance.
Word. Word. All right. I need you to do this for me. If you could work with 3 to 5 of the top or 3 to 5 producers of all time, who would you want to work with?
Uh, Producers.
Yes, sir.
Uh, it's gonna be a weird five right here. In no particular order.
Mm-mm.
I will work. I will work with JD, of course, Jermaine Dupri. Uh, I think me and Puff will make a crazy song. You know what I'm saying? I think me and Puff will. Uh, Dre, of course.
All right, that's three.
I'm gonna say Havoc,
Okay. Ooh.
Bob Deep.
Ooh. Okay.
Um, Man, probably Manny Fresh.
Really? Okay. That's that era. Now you're going back to that
Yeah,
Cash Money era right
yeah,
there.
probably Manny Fresh. I say
You
Manny
know,
Fresh.
I think he is a producer that doesn't get a lot of credit, but Manny has a variation of style. Even though he has a signature style, he has a variation in how he does it. And I've heard it in different songs that he's done. You know, if they don't say his name on it or he doesn't say his name, you'll go, "What? He did that?"
Yup,
So
that's
yeah,
a
so
fact.
so he got some songs with like what's it, the West Side Connection and shit like that that people like you wouldn't know unless someone said in the song, "Yo, Manny, you a fool for this one," you know.
Yup,
So
yup.
he Manny Fresh is one of those really good producers, man. Um, rappers, what rappers would you like to work with?
Uh, I would say Nas. Just I think the style kind of would mesh well. Let me think. Who else would I work with? Kiss, of course, one of the greatest rappers of all time. We see what he's still doing. He's still killing the game, of
Yes,
course.
sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, Probably Benny, because that's family. You know. Um, the Butcher coming. Who else would I work with? What's that? Three?
Yeah, you said Benny, you said Kiss, and you said Nas.
Probably Fab.
Okay.
And then we take it Midwest. We take it to your city. I probably younger cats. I'll probably do a song with Dirt, with
Yeah,
Smurf.
motherfuckers loving Dirk right now, man. Motherfuckers is really loving Dirk right now. Growing up in Milwaukee, did they play a lot of Scarface?
Heavy. Like
Okay.
like like Ghetto Boys or anything rap a lot. Like you know, like I say, I'm well versed. I got family live all in Austin and through all through Texas. You know what I'm saying? So that's a place I frequented early too. I've been to 39 states in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I lived in four, so I'm kind of well versed with music and going hear music over here and then taking it back home and then, you know, hearing it pick up momentum and then being popular there too. So like I say, I kind of heard everything. And then Twista, of course, was huge back then. That's when he was coming through the mill with the truck with like 64 colors, changing color.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, banging all of that. So all of that adrenaline rush and all of that, bro, we've been on pretty much all of that. That Scarface and Ghetto Boys, of course, you know, GD and all of that. Hey, who wrote all the intros and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We've been on Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Ghetto Boys,
Yeah.
Scarface was heavy.
Yeah, man. Mob shit. Mob shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Word.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. What was I gonna say? Okay, so do you prefer in this era of social media and the internet because we can upload and click and push and start and end everything now? Do you prefer being able to put your music out yourself now, or would you rather be able to break it over the radio?
I always been an independent. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like from day one. Like I never could understand being from where I'm from. We was always hustlers. I could never understand pretty much putting you know, your craft into the hands of somebody else and then relying on them to be the engine, of, you know, and the catalyst to pushing it. Uh, the radio always had a bias. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the in my family militant, so I kind of go against the grain when it comes to, you know, giving your you know, your likeness and all of that type of thing over to a system.
Mm-hmm.
So the internet is kind of good. I like the internet
Yeah.
for the opportunities it's providing for a lot of artists. I don't like the internet because the internet work off algorithm. If you don't know how to tap into that, you know, you could think that you're touching a million people. You know what I'm saying? And really be touching 5 to 10, depending on how popular you are and what's the topics of what you're talking about. See, a lot of artists don't understand that. I've been doing my due diligence on the game and understanding how a lot of artists break.
Yeah.
So me, I understand that it's bigger than just having access to just push a button and your music touch the internet. That's cool, yeah. But now you at the hard part, which is actually getting the masses to actually see it and breaking through.
Yeah, to tap in you because you need to. The algorithm goes off likes. Who liked it? Who's subscribing? Who's sharing it? Who's rating it? Like that's what pushes you to the top of the list. Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of people don't know that. So, you know, I think to that degree, and a lot of it is based off ads, you know, paying for them ads and putting your budget. That's where having a little budget come into play. See,
Facts.
you can want to be independent and put your music out, but just know it's gonna be costly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
That
yeah.
that money that you thought you was gonna be able to go to the club with like you normally do,
No
you
sir.
know, and cancel that out. All of that drinking and smoking and all of that money now it goes off into advertising dollars and market promotion, traveling out of town to network,
Yep.
wardrobes. That's the independent game. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? If you want to go that route of going to a label, they're gonna give you the budget, they're gonna give you the engine, they're gonna give you the push. Just
Yep.
know you gonna might be tied in if you don't recoup. So it's a lot of little things, you know, the pluses and the minuses on both sides of it.
Yeah, but that independent ground, you're gonna have to work your ass off.
Oh yeah, it's
You, you
hard.
you'll keep a lot more money, but it takes a lot. It takes a little longer, but in the end, all of it is yours. But when you got that engine behind you, a very big percentage, 50% or more of that shit goes back to them.
Yeah. And
Especially, and that's when you winning. Because if you ain't doing much of nothing, they just put you back on the shelf.
it's artists that don't never see the light of day, man. You know, it's some artists that never touch the studio.
Yep.
Like the game ain't just peaches and cream. To all of the artists out there watching, man, please believe. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a long time, independently on my own. I see the money that go in. I see the artists who get signed. I see what they go through. I see when they get dropped from a label and come back and tell you the stories, the horror stories of why this didn't go one way and certain things didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for some artists it worked well. All I'm gonna say is if you go into it, be prepared to go into it with an entertainment lawyer. First of all, if you're an artist and you don't got no entertainment lawyer, the worst thing you probably could do right now is try to go sit down and get a deal. Cause they gonna throw you
Have your own. Have your own. Not one of
have your
this.
own. Don't take the label lawyer or label management. That's see a lot of artists, you know, they go wrong chasing their dream. And because, like say, when you from certain environments and in certain situations, sometimes you just down to your last and you willing to do whatever for it. You know what I'm saying? But you ultimately don't want to dig yourself in a bigger hole where you know, you it's gonna look good in the beginning. Everything might be peaches and cream, but man, just know that you gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
your life ain't yours no more. You know, you stay independent. You kind of still you got some wiggle room on what you can do. You can drop when you want to drop.
Because for a lot of them, they know that you're coming from a bad situation, and they looking at you like, "What you willing to give up for this? How far you willing to go down this road with me over this way to get
That's
this
the
record deal?"
that's the worst thing. You know, the worst thing about our people too, coming from some of the environments we come from, man. It's like, you know, you dying so hard, you want to get out so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like how long do you supposed to live in a poverty type of environment? And so, you know, when the opportunity come along, man, the person know it, if they already out, it's easy for them to come back in and grab you and take you out. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our people fall for that, man. But I just tell everybody, man, stay strong. You know what I'm saying? Hold your head, man. If you got a talent or a craft, believe in yourself, your own abilities, man. Keep on pushing. Do what you got to do.
And
Get up
keep
out there.
working,
Yeah, just keep
keep
working.
working, keep working. Because the better you are at your craft, the further you can go, and it becomes easier for you as you go along. It gets easier and easier as you go along. And then when someone says, "Oh, I could have done that," when it takes you 5 minutes, they don't understand that the reason why it takes you 5 minutes to do that is because you got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of hours of doing that one thing over and over and over again.
Yep, yep. Repetition, man. You got to just stay diligent every day, consistently work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's all.
Absolutely, because I've been doing this podcast for the last couple of years or whatever, man, and I've just gotten better and better and better at it. And I've been asked to do other people podcasts, and when we jump, and they got studios and shit, and when we jump on, I just go right into it, and they be like, "Yo, it's crazy how you do that." It's just like after a while, it's like, I guess they say being a radio personality. I just click on, you know what I mean? So it
Yep.
becomes easy. It's just like this with me, or with like being in the booth creating music. That's my second home. That's second nature to me. You know what I mean? Like I know how to go in there and sit there and listen and say how a song should go or what you're looking for. Hey, what do you need help with? Like that's just natural. That's just my natural progression with things, you know?
Right. Right. Yep.
Definitely. Definitely. Did you ever want to sign a major deal?
When I was young, the way I even came into rapping was different. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I wasn't one of them. I wasn't one of them people who was rapping out the gate. I wasn't one of them get in front of your family and perform for everybody. I wasn't one of none of that. A female that I went to school with, she used to rap. She used to do parties and everything. I always used to go. I felt it fascinating, you know, the love she would get from doing it, and it looked fun to me. I fell into it doing it that way. So like I say, then I graduated to going to people's studios and basements and things like that. None of us was really aspiring to get no deal. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It was a hobby. It was nothing that none of me or none of my friends had an ambition to do on a serious level. We was basketball players, baseball. I played baseball and basketball. You know what I'm saying? All the way up till I was 18.
Okay.
Um, I my ambitions was going to the league. I really didn't think about music all like that. That's why I say it was just a hobby at that point. It was one of those things where at that point people was beating on the tables in the lunchroom and we was rapping. You know what I'm saying? And once again, it was just fun. So it was at that point. But nah, I never really wanted to get a deal. I never really pushed to get no deal or no situation. I always felt like it was a hard task to build a team around me that was going to be able to just, you know, fulfill all of the things that a team would have to fulfill. Because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
somebody got to want to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Um, and for me, that it just wasn't my thing. I never wanted all of them cameras like in my face all the time. I never wanted people running up to me asking me for autographs. I never wanted all of that. You know what I mean? I'm
Gotcha.
from I'm from the era where street niggas didn't have cameras in their face. We hated cameras.
You didn't want the shit in your face.
Yeah, we move in the shadows,
Shadows.
and you see by the work. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be seen. And entertainment world require a lot of cameras in your face. You got to do a lot of media. You got to put people in your life, especially in this day and age. You got to be on the TikToks and all of that. I never wanted that obligation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For the majority of the guys that I was around doing music, they weren't the most they weren't out they weren't the most they weren't extroverts, they weren't the most outgoing people. Like all of us just really wanted to be able to go into a studio, make music, and if possible do like a chitlin circuit or a college tour or something like that. Now if it got big, it got big, but no one was aspiring to be out in front of cameras. Like the whole thing was, I can rap with this group, I can rap with this group, or I can rap solo and I can be dope as fuck. Either or, it don't make no difference. But I don't want a bunch of people in my face or somebody telling me what to do and how to move my music around. That was always the main thing around us.
Yeah.
And still to this day, when you talk to them, even with deals that may have been presented to us, like no one ever really wanted to take one. We were very curious about it, but no one ever decided like, yo, I'm gonna do it.
It took for me to start getting a little bit older, going to college and bumping into different celebrities and things like that. I went to Alabama State University. Excuse me. I bumped into a lot of people down there that was giving me game, you know what I'm saying, telling me, yo, you nice, you should try to do this or that. But they would also tell me, okay, well, with this game, certain things come along with it. And it reminded me too much of the hazing process with frats. You know what I'm saying? It was almost the same reason why I never joined the fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I never I played AAU basketball when I was young, and
Okay.
I always played on a team with all black kids. When I played AAU basketball, it would be predominantly white kids on the team I would play for. They would sit me and my man at the end of the bench. Now, when practice would come, if we would do more suicides and we running on, they reward us by putting us on the court. And that's kind of the feeling I got, like when it comes to
Mm.
entertainment business. It's almost like, okay, I'm gonna run, 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 run. Y'all gonna benefit off of it. I'm gonna be tired as hell going home, but I'm gonna get some Gatorade. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna run, 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 run. You see what I'm saying? Like you gonna quench my thirst a little bit now, but I'm gonna be doing the majority of the work, and y'all gonna make the money, and it's gonna be
Right.
like that. So it's too much of a hazing process for me. Everybody always say your first contract this, your first contract that. You got to take a bad deal. No, I don't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand self economics. What I'm gonna do is I start my own website. I put all my music on my own site. I drive all my traffic to my own site. I start to hit the businesses and the companies that want to advertise and market on my own site because of the traffic I'm building. That's
Yeah.
how I think. I don't think go getting. I learned the game. Teach me how to fish.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't bring me three
Don't
fish.
bring me the fish. Teach me
Yeah,
how to fish so I
teach me
never
how
had
to
to
fish.
ask you
Yeah.
again.
So
And
I'm one of the
that's man shit.
just learn the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be the one to beg and keep my hand out for for something I can learn how to do on my own. And especially if I don't feel like no man is above no another man. So if one man can learn the game, I know I can learn it too. You know what I mean? And then after that, it's just all execution.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me about this AAU, man. Were you nice with the pill?
Yeah, I was nice in baseball and basketball. I started playing baseball when I was 8. I played all the way till I was 17. Basketball, I started playing when I was 7. I played all the way until I was 18, till I got to college. And then even in rec leagues, like even now, I still play every now and then, Blue Moon. Um, yeah, I was nice. You know what I'm saying? I played point guard. You know what I mean? And then in baseball, I pitched and played first base. So I was real athletic. You know what I'm saying? Naturally gifted. My father played sports, but he wasn't really around to teach me that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I naturally gravitated towards it. And then, like I say, back in them days, that was the one thing that you did before. If you didn't make it in that sport, then you kind of jumped off the porch and went the street route. It
Yeah.
wasn't, most kids back then, parents kept them involved in athletics and in sports.
Yeah.
So, and like you say, AAU, for those that don't know what AAU basketball is amateur athletics, you know what I'm saying? It's the it's almost the breeding ground for where the scouts come to get the kids that's going to college or them kids that's about to go to a major prep school. Um,
Thanks.
they it's a lot of money involved. To keep it 100 with y'all, it's a lot of money involved, a lot of politics involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, these is the breeding ground for the next kids that's going pro. So you got to kind of understand that relationships between referees and certain coaches, all of those things, man.
Yeah, someone called it. A older guy told me years ago. He said it ain't nothing but another way of calling us, keeping us on slave farms. He said all they do is just breed you to move you around, and they send you to somebody else's farm and then another farm until you make it to the league, right? And those ain't nothing but a bunch of other plantations that you play for.
And like I
And
tell a lot of these parents, man, you got to be careful if yo because a coach will take your kid on the team. You don't go to the games. See, like my son on a traveling team, so they about to go play in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They going to Texas, Tennessee, Orlando, and then they got six tournaments in Rochester that they playing in. But if you don't go with your kid, say you don't take that trip to Atlantic City, you know what I'm saying? You gotta you gotta know your kid might not even be out there playing for real. You
mhm,
paying all this money for your kid to be traveling, woo, woo. But a lot of these systems is designed for whatever kid is the star kid or the kid that's already looked at. Might even be a coach's son. You know what I'm saying? A coach's daughter. And your kid is traveling, playing. They just happy to take the trips and all of that. But you got to know that if you're gonna put your kid in AAU, make sure that they at least good enough to get out there on that court, man. Because what you paying for, in the long run, could go to so many more things that could benefit you and your child.
yeah, yeah. And let me also say this because I did an episode with my brothers called "It's Okay to Not Be an Entertainer." It's okay for these kids to not play sports. It's okay for them to be doctors, lawyers, scientists, and everything else. I salute the basketball and any sport or any other form of entertainment. Entertainment. It's the fastest way to the bag. But we need more lawyers and doctors and everything else and scientists in our community as well. We need a lot more than just basketball players because a lot of these guys is getting rich and we don't never hear from them again.
Some of them, and then you got to think is somebody getting rich off them players once they get hurt. Somebody they
Yeah,
got to know how to work on the body. Somebody they got to know about maintaining the body. Somebody they got to. It's like LeBron. He wouldn't be able to play all of these years if he didn't have them other people. The Rich Pauls and all of them in different positions. Them playing their roles. Even the people that work with his body. Look how long you've been in the league. It's the preservation. It's not just even with entertainers and rappers, artists, actors, no matter what it is you see, people got to remember, man, it's a team. Everything take teamwork. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. A rapper that don't do no interviews, don't get no kind of press, no kind of pub to the press. He not talk to the people at all. So without that interviewer, that artist ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? Without them DJs at radio playing the music or that program director saying, okay, yeah, we'll play this song, woo woo,
yeah,
or even the man putting the budget up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is valuable. And
yeah.
everybody, I think we just in a day and time where, society is trying to force us to be so isolated and I, when in actuality, man, it take a village to raise a child and it take, the whole
You
village.
can never get it done by yourself.
Can't. It's all teamwork, man. If you ain't got teamwork, dream ain't gonna work, as they say. Teamwork make the dream work.
That's a
So
fact. That's a super fact right there, bro. You always got to have the further you go, the more you realize that hey, I need specific people for these things. Or I need to be able to put one person in charge of three things and another person in charge of two things and let them delegate those things and get back to me to make sure that they're running well. Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you watch any of the NBA games?
oh man, I'm heavy on the NBA.
Okay.
I sports bet. So
Ah, okay.
I'm tied in, I'm locked in. I'm from Milwaukee, so we got champions. You know what I'm saying? I'm on.
It took y'all some years, but y'all at the top.
Nah, I'm on that type time. I was a
Yes, sir.
diehard Scottie Pippen fan when y'all was winning it all them years. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I was a big Scottie Pippen fan, bro.
Yeah. So man, I'm on it like that. I watch all of the sports. I'm heavy into it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think the Bucks are coming out the East? Of course you do, right?
I ain't gonna say that just because they hometown. I think it's gonna be rough, man. I think they got the team to do it. They added a couple pieces, got rid of DiVincenzo, a couple people, but they added a couple pieces I think could be big. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna struggle with. They might struggle with a Philly or a Brooklyn, maybe, or maybe even Boston. The way Boston been playing. You know what I'm saying? The East is
Yeah.
kind of hectic right now. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk. It ain't gonna be easy.
The East always been hectic, man. Like if you look at the history from the 70s on down, 80s, 90s, all those eras, they always had hoopers. But I think overall, the healthier that team gets, I think the Bucks they're gonna make the push back into the top of the Eastern Conference. Um, I think for a while we were just watching them coast, and
Yeah.
it just looked so regular that we were just like, oh, Brooklyn or 76ers because they were making trades and shit like that. And the whole time the Bucks was just like, yeah, we still doing the same shit though. And it reminded me of the way that the San Antonio Spurs just do shit.
As the Bucks is more of a they not a team that really care about who put the ball in the hole. Drew Holiday, a lockdown point guard, bigger guard, kind of hard to defend. Middleton, when he get it going, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much really can't stop him one-on-one. Giannis opened the floor up. They got shooters. So, I think, man, from an overall standpoint, I think they got a good chemistry as far as a whole team. They don't just got a superstar and then that's that.
Yeah.
They ain't got three people on paper like the Lakers. The Lakers was a lot of names on paper. You know what I'm saying?
But it
But
didn't
when you
mesh
look at
well.
the way they mesh, yeah, they didn't mesh well at all. The chemistry wasn't there. You could tell the Bucks like playing with each other. They don't have no egos over there.
Yeah, they go out and ball, and I like that. That's why I said I liken them to the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and when it was David Robinson, all those guys. Like you knew who were the dominant guys when they had to be dominant, but later on when it was just Tim Duncan, and then it was just Ginobili and Parker. Everybody did it whatever needed to be done to make sure that they got the win, and that's what you want. Everybody to buy in and get the W. And the Bucks, man, the Bucks really look like they're going back to doing what they've been doing.
Yeah,
I like watching them play though. They are exciting as well. It's an exciting team to watch.
yeah.
I'm wondering how Brooklyn is going to go about the rest of the season, as well as the 76ers. I think Boston, I think Miami are two teams that people have to watch out for as well.
I think Brooklyn just too inconsistent. I was just watching them before we got on, and they was down 17 to the Knicks. So,
Mm,
but at halftime, so it's like when you putting out perform, I think they got to get back. They got to get used to playing together. I think when you got a team that got so many injuries throughout the year, and people sitting down, then Kyrie can't play on the road. I mean, at home and all of that for
yeah.
so long, and now you bringing it all back together. I think they got to get used to playing with each other. That's
Who
all.
you think? Who you think coming out the West?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh, you said that sharp to the motherfucker. Yeah, I say the same.
I just think they, from veteran leadership, all the way down, man. They
Chris
got
Paul still a dog.
Chris Paul going crazy. You still got Devin Booker. You got DeAndre Ayton. What's your man name? Crowder out there bullying people as usual.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Mikhail, what's his name on the wing? The long small forward. What's his name?
Mikal Bridges.
He going crazy. He locking it down. You even got the backup point guard coming off the bench.
Oh
He
yeah,
come out,
Cameron.
Cameron Payne. He come
Yeah.
out there and get loose. You know what I'm saying? So I think they got the team. I think they got the best team in the West.
It, it,
Jokic don't look like he going easy though.
no, he don't, and he doing that without still two of the main pieces. That's crazy that he able to ball like that, man.
Then Memphis, of course, Memphis like 20-2 without Ja Morant or something crazy.
Without Ja Morant, you don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
You don't hear stuff like that a lot.
Because that's just going to show you that it go back to what you say, chemistry and teamwork, man. You ain't got the star player ain't even got to be there for everybody. But that's when you got a good leader. When everybody else, the leader ain't got to be out there on the court. But
Yeah.
man, everybody else still a reflection of it, and they still go out there and get the dub.
But that also lets you know the motherfuckers can ball though. Like
Yeah,
they
all
go
of
out
them
and
pros,
ball.
man. Anybody that I hate that too. People that be on, man, this nigga bum and that heat, man. Come on, man.
If
If
he
you made
played
it to
you
the
in a
league,
one-on-one, if he played
kill
you in a
you.
one-on-one, he'd kill your ass, man. He'll ball your ass up, give you 40 piece, and you had like maybe 2 points. People don't get that shit, man. If they made it all the way to the league, bro, they there for a reason.
That's a fact. They only picking 56. You got to think it's 56 a year, and you got 50. Man, you got over. Yeah, damn near 40,000 colleges, probably, if not more.
Listen, there's only 450 something spots in the NBA. That's it.
All together.
All together. 30 teams, between 30 and 32 teams, and there's only 15 man roster spots. So you figure it out. If you made it that far, and I'm only saying that because I've seen it happen in real life. In Chicago, they used to have it's something called the Pro-Am. So you get the mixture of the college hoopers, the high school hoopers, and the NBA players coming up in there. And I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but a guy came in there from the league on the lower end of the bench. Motherfuckers was in the crowd. I'll bust your ass. Because he missed a couple shots while he was on the court. And then he called a heater. Right? So he hit like 4 or 5 of them. And he went down court like, oh yeah, there it is. I found it. And they was like, yeah, get your garbage ass out of here. You at the end of the bench, right? Halftime, he said, who was saying that shit? And he was like, I was, your bum ass, you weak as fuck. He said, stay after the game. He said, I'll put up a couple dollars and we'll play. He's like, I'll bust your weak ass. He's like, just stay after the game. We'll put the money up. They played after the game was over. Gave that man all buckets. And I think he maybe drove a couple times, but he would stop on a dime and pull up.
That's how it be. That's why I be trying to tell boys. I'm like, because even in Buffalo, like I'm from Milwaukee, the Trail Spreewell from Milwaukee, Kevon Looney from the Golden State, Obaji that just won the joint from in Kansas. You know, he originally from Milwaukee.
Talk about it.
It's hoopers, you know what I'm saying, that came through. Devin Harris that played for, you know, the point guard played in the league.
Yeah.
So, and then even in Buffalo, we had Trevor Ruffin went to the league, played about 9 years with Philly. You know, we Cliff Robinson.
Yeah.
So
the OG.
People, Christian Laettner from Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's people that I done seen coming up, and you be like, okay, he might not have been, you know, Hall of Famer, top whatever, but to see them play against normal people. It's not even it don't even be close.
It's no comparison.
Yeah.
They are at the top of the ladder for a reason, man. And he gave dude straight buckets, all buckets. And he didn't miss too many shots. And people was like, damn, he busting your ass. He's like, he gonna miss though. He gonna miss, watch. He's like, bro, it ain't nothing you can do that's gonna stop anything I'm doing. Nothing you can do.
Yeah. That's a fact though, because you know them athletes, bro, they in that gym, man.
Every day.
They're in that gym every day, no matter.
He told that man, say sorry. Every time he hit a jump shot, he's like, just say sorry. He said, I'll stop right here. He said, just say sorry. Motherfucker wouldn't even say sorry. And he drive, stop on the down, pull up, back. He just hit the bottom of the net. Back. I was like, he gonna eat your ass up all night, man. Yeah. And that's what he did. He walked off. I think Buddy had like 3 points. I think he had like a total of 3.
That's how you learn your lesson sometimes, man. That's how you get your lesson in humility, man. You got to go out there and, you know, go with your Kawhi Leonard, play your game and don't say nothing. You know
But I learned a very valuable lesson that night or that afternoon watching the pros play. With Allen Iverson was in there, a bunch of guys, you know. I learned a very valuable lesson, you know, that they play at the highest level for a reason.
Yeah.
They may not be Allen Iverson or Ray Allen or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Tracy McGrady or Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan. They may not be them, but they made it that far for a reason. Even if they are the 12th guy on the bench or the 15th guy, they made it that far for a reason. And what they're capable of doing ain't some shit that you can just walk into a gym and do. Mm-hmm. It take a lot of will and skill. Again, like we said earlier, you have to do that shit over and over and over again until it becomes so easy for you that it doesn't even matter where you are. It just happens for you. So like the repetition of hard work and the consistency of it is a totally different thing from you just going and playing with your guys and hooping with the local hoopers and shit. Like Kobe Bryant said, he said, I shoot 1,000 jump shots from one spot. And when I gotta
make 1,000 of them in that spot.
You understand? And I don't know if it was him or Tracy McGrady. They said, what he say? If I get down to my last shots and I miss 3 of them, we start over.
Starting over. Yep. I think Steph Curry like that too. I
Yeah,
think you gotta work out like that.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And now that you know that that's the genius of it. So when dude was in there talking, I was looking back at him like, bro, you tripping, fam. But everybody got to learn their lesson somehow. I don't think people get it. They're pros, they're professionals for a reason. So
Yeah.
definitely. You got any music on the way out? Any music that's coming out?
Uh, at the beginning of the year, man, I was gonna drop the Prayed Up project. I was gonna drop a project called Prayed Up. I doubled back on that only because I'm starting to understand that the attention span is so short that a lot of the consumers and a lot of the listeners just prefer singles and songs to come out. I'm more so concentrating on getting more acting roles. I'm putting together a project similar to Streets is Watching that Jay-Z
Okay.
put out, where it's gonna be music incorporated into the actual, scenes. The scenes might actually be incorporated into the music, however you want to say it. But so just things like that, man. I did a couple of
How long was the project? How many songs, I should say?
the project that I was gonna put out
Mm-hmm.
was gonna be 12, old school 12. But I probably could
Short
have
into 6 or 7.
about 6 to 7.
Yeah.
But, the way the direction that I wanted to do the project, it kind of make more sense to do it in the visual audio
Okay.
type of vein,
I hear you. I hear you.
just because of the content. See, like I say, by the content that I make being so content heavy, um, I really don't, I really don't think I could, I really don't think I could put together a body of work with the songs that I want to put on the project
Mm-hmm.
the way that I can do it without the visuals and without it being 12 songs.
Okay.
With it being 12 songs, I think in a visual project, mixed incorporated into the two, I can kind of stretch I can make it, it won't seem like your attention span won't just be like 12 songs of music. It'll
Okay.
actually have something visual to take your mind off the fact that you just listening to music for 12 songs. You know what I'm saying?
So it'll kind of be like the backdrop to like a whole event or like a movie or something like
Yeah,
that that's
like
happening.
each song will have a visual to accompany it. You know what I mean, like that.
Okay.
So and it'll be pretty much scripted. The intro gonna be gonna line up with the actual visuals, and it's gonna play out like a movie. You know what I'm saying? It'll play out like a movie, but it'll actually be like a visual audio project. And that's what
Okay.
I'm working on, trying to figure out, just working out the kinks on that. And like I say, I got the music. The music ain't a problem. I got probably about 100 songs done that ain't never been heard,
Okay.
mixed and mastered already. So the music ain't never. I got my own studio, so the music ain't a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Do you do your own mixing and mastering, or you got somebody for that?
From since about 2009, I've been recording myself, mixing, mastering myself, all my own artwork, all my promotion, marketing, all of that myself. I've been in-house, self-contained on everything. I'm 17 projects in now. You can go to thatpip.com and check those out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I just, like all my shows that I done booked, shows that I done did, traveling I did, all of that. I've just been self-contained on my own, man. Just
Okay.
pushing my own brand.
Plug your site. Plug it. Plug it.
www.iamcoldcash.com. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there and listen to all of the new music. It's a lot of section for free music on there, page for music that you could purchase, the singles. The visuals is right there on the page. You got your merch section. You can go to the merch page, get you some merch, Cold Cash International. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, you can go to, of course, the youtube.com/Cold Cash Star Gang, twitter.com, the real Cold Cash. Yeah, man. Just check. Instagram, of course. I am Cold Cash, and that's that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, my brother. I appreciate you coming on here with me.
Oh man, I appreciate you, bro. It was a blessing being on. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. I really appreciate it, man. Sooner or later we'll get up again when we both got some more time.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come to the shy. Like I say, I'm right around the corner. I still got all kind of family in the mill. So next time I take that trip to the Midwest,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Just hit me up. Just hit
yeah.
me up. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an episode of Full Profits Podcast with my guest, Cold Cash. Always remember the mission statement when you're striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. We are done here.